She signed the divorce papers without a second thought. Minutes later, her billionaire jet landed. And the family fell silent. The room was so quiet that the scratching of a pen sounded like thunder. Everyone stared as Grace Daniels calmly signed her name on the divorce papers. No trembling hands. No tears. No pleading. She placed the pen on the polished wooden table, pushed the documents toward her husband, and smiled gently. "I wish you peace, Ethan." The room erupted with laughter. Ethan's mother leaned back in her chair and shook her head. "Look at her pretending she's strong," she sneered. "You'll regret this by tomorrow." His younger sister crossed her arms. "You've lived off our family for 5 years. What are you going to do now? Sell vegetables?" Even Ethan couldn't hide his smirk. "You should have apologized when you had the chance." Grace simply stood up. "You've mistaken silence for weakness." She picked up her small handbag and walked toward the door. Then her phone vibrated. She looked at the screen. The message read, "Ma'am, your jet has just landed. We are waiting outside." She smiled. Perfect timing. Outside the mansion, the sound began as a distant rumble. Everyone frowned. Then it grew louder. A sleek black helicopter appeared fast, circling above the estate. Behind it, a convoy of luxury SUVs rolled through the gates. Moments later, news flashed across every employee's phone. A private Gulfstream jet had just landed at the nearby executive airport. The aircraft belonged to one person. Grace Daniels. The woman they had spent 5 years insulting. Silence swallowed the mansion. 5 years earlier, Grace hadn't always dressed in simple clothes. She had grown up as the only daughter of billionaire entrepreneur Richard Daniels. His company stretched across shipping, renewable energy, banking, and technology. From childhood, Grace had everything money could buy. Except genuine friendships. Whenever people approached her, they wanted something. Money. Connections. Status. When she met Ethan Carter, he didn't know who she was. She introduced herself as an ordinary marketing consultant. For the first time, someone liked her for her personality. She fell deeply in love. When Ethan proposed, she accepted one condition from her father. "If he truly loves you," Richard had said, "he'll still love you without knowing your wealth." Grace agreed. She walked away from the billionaire lifestyle and moved into Ethan's modest home. She believed love was enough. She was wrong. The slow change. At first, Ethan adored her. Then his business struggled. Bills piled up. His mother blamed Grace. "You brought bad luck." Every failure became her fault. She cooked, cleaned, supported Ethan emotionally. She secretly used her business knowledge to help save his company, never revealing her experience. Whenever investors agreed to meetings, Ethan believed it was because of his brilliance. Grace smiled and let him have the credit. She didn't need applause. She wanted a happy marriage. But success changed Ethan. His company began growing. His mother convinced him that Grace was holding him back. "She's too ordinary. You deserve someone from a wealthy family." Eventually Ethan believed them. He met Vanessa. Beautiful. Famous. Daughter of another wealthy businessman. Or so he thought. Vanessa only wanted Ethan's growing fortune. Within months, Ethan demanded a divorce. Grace asked only one question. "Is this truly what you want?" "Yes." She nodded. "Then I won't fight you." The day everything changed. After Grace left the mansion, the convoy stopped beside her. Uniformed staff opened the car door. The pilot greeted her respectfully. "Welcome home, Miss Daniels." Ethan's family watched from the entrance, frozen. His mother whispered, "Miss Daniels." One of the security officers handed Grace a tablet. "Your father asked if you'd like to return directly to New York or visit headquarters first." She smiled. "Headquarters." The officer nodded. "Also, Congratulations. The board unanimously voted to appoint you as the new CEO. Every face turned pale. CEO? Her father had retired. Grace now controlled a business empire worth billions. The truth comes out. Within hours, every business news channel carried the story. Billionaire heiress Grace Daniels officially assumes leadership of Daniels Global Holdings. Ethan nearly dropped his phone. His sister searched online frantically. There were hundreds of photos. Grace attending international economic summits. Grace with world leaders. Grace giving scholarships to thousands of students. Grace speaking at charity events. She had hidden everything. Not because she was ashamed. Because she wanted to be loved for who she was. Karma arrives quietly. A week later, Ethan discovered something shocking. Nearly every major contract his company relied on came from businesses indirectly connected to Daniels Global. Grace had never interfered. But now she had stepped away completely. Without those relationships, investors lost confidence. Projects disappeared. Stock prices collapsed. Vanessa vanished as quickly as she had appeared. She had never loved him. She loved success. Without it, she left. The unexpected meeting. Months later, Ethan stood in the lobby of Daniels Global headquarters. He looked exhausted. His expensive suits were gone. His confidence had disappeared. Grace agreed to meet him. She entered the office wearing a navy blue suit. Elegant. Confident. Yet still kind. Ethan lowered his head. I made the biggest mistake of my life. Grace remained silent. I thought money mattered. I thought status mattered. I never appreciated the person who believed in me before anyone else. I'm sorry. There was a long pause. Finally Grace spoke. I forgive you. Hope appeared in Ethan's eyes. Then she continued. But forgiveness doesn't always rebuild what has been broken. He nodded slowly. I understand. For the first time, he truly did. A greater purpose. Instead of celebrating revenge, Grace expanded the Daniels Foundation. She launched programs for struggling entrepreneurs. Scholarships for single mothers. Business education for young women. Emergency housing for families escaping abuse. When reporters asked why she helped strangers after everything she had endured, Grace answered simply. Pain can make your heart smaller, or bigger. I chose bigger. The family silence. 1 year later, Ethan's mother watched Grace receiving the nation's highest humanitarian award on television. The woman she had mocked now inspired millions. She whispered with tears in her eyes. We judged her by what she didn't show us. The lesson. Grace never regretted signing the divorce papers. She regretted only how long she had ignored her own worth. She discovered that real wealth isn't measured by private jets, luxury cars, or billion-dollar companies. Real wealth is having a heart that refuses to become bitter after being broken. Because success may silence your critics. But forgiveness reveals your true character. And sometimes, the loudest victory begins with the quietest signature.